Guys, are you seeing this?
There's Buzelis against Doncic behind the back, and he dunked it home.
Don't show it all to him, Buzi.
6'10", 20 years old, catching the ball at the three-point line, pump faking, going between the legs behind the back, and then throwing it down. If you haven't been paying attention to the Chicago Bulls, this is Matisse Buzelis, and after drafting him with the 11th overall pick in last year's draft, there's no wonder the Chicago Bulls considered him untouchable just prior to this year's trade deadline. Because you just saw it there, but with the combination of size, skill, athleticism, and mentality, Matisse has a chance at being a very special player. The kind of player who can make plays like this on a consistent basis.
Stop and go, kick to Buzelis, fakes Green into the air, drives,
Meet me at the rim and don't be late.
for the Bulls. Buzelis, low score, took it down.
Upstairs, go dunk it, Buzi Vert.
And this is what stands out about Buzelis' scoring ability. I don't need to tell you he's not a finished product yet, but some of the flashes are special. Just watch him here in transition, bring the ball up the floor, and look at that filthy hesitation, almost breaking Achua's ankles in the process, and then the ability to slip past and finish with the outside of the hand. Or here against Harquez Jr., again with that initial hesitation before the in and out dribble, and then the spin inside before finishing with the left. And you saw these flashes culminate in a breakout game against the Los Angeles Lakers. With expectations high for the Lakers following the return of LeBron James, the Chicago Bulls were not supposed to win. Matisse Buzelis had other ideas, going off for 31 points and showcasing what he could look like if he turned all of this potential into a consistent all-around game. Just look at him on this play against Reeves, going between the legs again with that hesitation, stepping through, and just a soft finish. And when you see how smooth, how balanced, and how fluid he is, it's not surprising that he's already getting praise from NBA stars. And this game against the Lakers wasn't a fluke. Okay, he's not going to hit 5 threes regularly like he did in the Lakers game, but since he became a starter and started getting regular minutes, he has averaged over 12 points per game on 49% from the field and 32% from 3 in those last 24 games, which would have had him right in the mix for Rookie of the Year if he had have gotten that opportunity from the jump. But the thing with Matisse is, he recognizes it's a process, and one thing about Matisse that I love is his mentality. Obviously, we can't fully understand what a player's mentality is like, but you get quotes that give you an idea of that, and he's already had some really great quotes this season. There is no magic dust to playing basketball and being a great basketball player. You work, you get better, and you learn. That's plain and simple. Or how about after his career night against the Lakers, still keeping that same mentality? I told Billy that I want to be pushed to the limit. I want to be the best player ever. That's just how I think. He has done a great job holding me accountable, and I thank him. When he takes me out for a mistake, I get better. What I really like about Buzelis' personality is he has the perfect blend of confidence and ego that the best players do, like calling out Zachary Risacher to a one-on-one before the NBA draft, or saying he was the best player in the draft, but also acknowledging that he didn't have his best season at J-League Ignite, and he still has a lot of room to grow and develop, and he wants to be held accountable when he isn't performing, not just given a pass because he's a talented player on a young team. And I think this is always great to hear, because it means he knows his strengths and weaknesses as well as any of us. And speaking of his weaknesses, I mean, well, to put it bluntly, he's quite weak. It doesn't take a genius to realize that he has some room to fill out his frame. You saw all those crafty finishes and moves, but to become a legit 20 to 25 point per game scorer, he needs to improve his ability to finish through contact. He needs to blend that finesse and that skill he has with more strength and more ability to not just avoid contact with his skill, but embrace contact and embrace his physical traits. In addition to this, his three-point shooting is clearly a swing skill. You saw it against the Lakers that when he is hot from three, he's already a really good NBA player as a 20-year-old, but he's still an inconsistent shooter who you can't fully trust to knock down shots on a consistent basis. Those are pretty common areas of improvement, particularly for young forwards, but the way Mattis is able to blow past defenders, his handle, if he can get defenders to close out on him consistently from three-point range, he's going to be so difficult to guard. I mean, how do you defend someone with his size, with his handle, his athleticism, if he becomes a reliable three-point shooter and adds some size to finish on a more consistent basis? I don't know. Now, what if I told you this is all cool? It's great that Mattis Buzelis is 6'10" with the ability to cross players over, the ability to spin inside of defenders, the ability to hit jump shots at a decent rate, and make some point forward-like plays as well. That is cool, but what really stands out about his ceiling isn't the offense. It's the defensive side of the floor, because all of those physical traits that you see in glimpses on offense, well, you see all of that and more on the defensive end of the floor. A play like this is ridiculously impressive. He's backtracking in transition against Jalen Brunson. Watch him slide his feet on the initial move, but it's this play here where Brunson goes to his patented low pickup and slow step, but Mattis is good enough to not foul on the pickup before blocking the shot on the fadeaway. This is what you'll notice with him that is different from other rookies and a lot of other players, full stop. Not only does he have the length, the athleticism, the fluidity that you want from someone his size on defense, but it's the ability to stay straight up on a lot of plays, not falling for those pump fakes or head fakes that guys like Brunson or DeRozan or Jimmy Butler get everyone with. Does this mean he makes zero mistakes on defense? Absolutely not. But for someone his age, his defensive presence of mind is incredibly impressive, and it's all the more impressive when you consider the traits he has to back it up. The traits as a shot blocker, which above all is the biggest skill you can have as a defender. It's important to not be reckless and have the ability to stay in front of players, but if you can be an elite shot blocker from any position, let alone a non-center position, that's where you can transform defenses. And he's not doing that yet, but the signs are there. Just like here where Gobert and Conley run the pick and roll, and watch Mattis help off McDaniels to block Gobert at the rim. Or how about here, which is just a ridiculous defensive play. He's backtracking in transition against Mitchell going at full speed, and it looks like Mitchell has him absolutely beat, going one way, back the other way, but look at Mattis's ability to then recover after getting beat and block the shot at the rim. And this right here is why Mattis Buzelis feels like a sure bet to be a valuable NBA player. We can talk about the handle, the shooting, or the strength finishing around the rim, but I think there's enough to believe he'll be at worst a solid offensive player, and at worst, he's looking like he's going to be a good defensive player with a strong chance at becoming a great defensive player. Entering the draft, he was seen as a boom or bust kind of prospect, but when he's 20 years old and already a near positive NBA player, I struggle to see the bust side of things. Pause. Now on that note, if you made it all the way to the end of the video and heard that, consider dropping a like, subscribing to the channel would be much appreciated. Hope you have a great day. Thank you for watching. Bye.